What's up everyone? Today we are putting on the super sweet CavFab 4x4 Rampage Front Bumper, and I can't stop smiling. I'm pretty stoked about this one. Just before we get into it, this video is sponsored by CavFab, so anything you need to know about the products that are featured in the video are going to be down in the description below. So for the first video, we're going to be installing the Rampage bumper and the skid plate that goes with it, and the part 2 video to this is going to be the fair lead mount and the worn winch to go on top of the bumper. I've already put the fog lights in this bumper. I will show the back of it just so you can see how it goes in. Super clean flush mounting, especially with the hardware that CavFab sends with it. This is the skid plate that goes with the front bumper. It's actually insane. Let me grab the factory one and show you the difference. All right, so this one is the factory one. I ran this. This is my third one. I ran this on the Jeep until now, and it's held up pretty well. It's about as thin as paper. It sounds like a gong when you ring it, and it's a piece of trash. Putting this on is going to change the game drastically underneath the front of this. It's going to protect these components a lot better than that factory one would have. All right, getting into the hardware supplied with the bumper, it's pretty simple: washers and a nut. The nut size is 16mm or 5/8. So to start, I would recommend removing the front grille. It just makes everything easy, and you can kind of just see everything as far back as you can get it without unbolting stuff. It's going to be a couple of plastic clips here. Each of these holes they line up with at the top of the grill. Use a flathead screwdriver to pry those off. And down here there are going to be some pressure clips. It's going to feel like it doesn't want to come out of the actual Jeep, but just pull on it really hard, it'll come out. And for reference, here's those pressure clips on the inside of the grill. So the next step is going to be to remove whatever bumper you have on the front. If you have a bumper on it, it's going to be these 4 frame holes here on each side. So you're going to remove the front bumper, and it should look like this when you're finished. So stripping everything down, you can see the 4 holes on each side of the frame. That's exactly where the studs are going to line up on the inside of the CavFab bumper. Right, to start, we're going to throw this bumper right up onto the frame. You should be able to line it up by yourself, but I would 100% recommend having someone else to help you with this. It is a very large piece of steel, and it's pretty heavy when you have to kind of like finagle it into spot. So right now I have it resting on the front frame rails. I'm going to look behind here, start to get things lined up. So I got these 2 in on this side. Now, if I lift up on this side, it will slide right in. This thing looks sweet. It is gonna be awesome out there. It is resting on the front right now. Time to put some hardware in. Okay, so on the driver's side, we can look in here and see the 2 studs there. Pretty simple to get to. And on the inside underneath, these studs are also easy to get to. The fog lights are 4-inch holes, so they are made for most aftermarket applications and factory ones. And from the front, you can see how nice the fog lights sit. They tuck themselves inside so you don't risk any rock damage. For these side ones, I'm going to use a deep set socket and an extension. You can see that it fits kind of perfectly, actually. It gives you plenty of room to twist, and it's going to fit on both sides, the inside studs and the outside ones. All 8 bolts. Damn. It's like... So taking you back underneath, there is going to be the fog light plugs from the factory, and then the plug that comes off of the back of your fog lights. And obviously those plug in together, and I would probably secure them pretty tight, maybe like right here. I use this bar here in front of the radiator, just a couple zip ties. Also, if you're putting your rig through mud like me, make sure that you are using this when you are unplugging your electronics and plugging back in together. There is dirt and debris that does get into those connections, and you don't want any issues later on down the road. And you can see everything is looking really nice here. Nothing's gonna get in the way of any moving parts. Everything's tucked up tight. So getting it fully installed, this thing looks amazing. There is a nice gap in between the grille and the bumper. This is so that dirt and water can wash out when you are washing it, And I don't know if anyone saw it earlier, but did you see the cutout on the left corner, like on the front of the passenger? It's perfect for winch wires. That was a huge problem with my last bumper. There's actually scratches there where the winch wires were, so I'm super stoked to have this cutout here. It just makes everything nice and easy. Okay, so jumping into the skid plate, you can see the frame hole has a threaded hole here, and on the other side, we're gonna use both of those holes, and then there's 4 on the bottom of the bumper that we're gonna use. Okay, we started by putting the right side bolt in over here, and then we'll move to the other side to secure it in. All right, so throwing the skid plate up, you can see that we did just hand tighten these 4 bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and on this corner there's 4. And that is the end of this install. I am so happy with how this turned out. Taking the camera off the tripod, I want to show you exactly what I like about this bumper, something that actually sold me from the beginning. Starting with the design itself, I'm really pleased with how this thing looks. The lines look awesome, they line up with the skid plate so well. The supports going up the side of the bull bar and even these hooks on the front, followed up by super clean welds, it's really nice. I really like how the fogs sit in the front bumper. I think that it's nice that they get protected this way, and the hardware that was given for them to be secured with is super strong, and it's never going to go anywhere. Something I really appreciated was the height of the bull bar. It gives you a ton of clearance for mounting lights underneath of it, on top of it, or to the side of it. And the most important part about a bumper and skid plate combo is the approach angle and how much clearance you have. Surprisingly enough, getting this on, it looks kind of bulky because of how bright it is against all the black, but when you get it on, you realize it's actually as tight as you can go with keeping the factory frame the way it is. Alright guys, that's it. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, support a creator if you don't mind. If you had any questions about CavFab, all of their information is going to be linked in the description below. That includes information about the front bumper and other products on their website. Before you check out, make sure you put the code CrawlHouse in so you can get a discount off of your whole order. Isn't that nice? Right. You can have this on your Jeep here soon. It's CavFab, thanks guys, and everyone who's watched, I appreciate you guys too. We'll see you soon.